Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's so good to see you guys again, and to this video it's going to be more of a tutorial for people that are just getting into makeup or are trying to figure out how to do their eyeshadow better. I'm not an expert, but I try to do the best that I can here. So we're going to be using some Kylie products, some Morphe brushes, and I'm going to be showing you guys my technique and give you a couple tips and tricks along the way. So let's get into it. So I already did my eyebrows and concealer base off of camera, but to start off with brows, the best thing that I would recommend as a beginner is to get into something like the Anastasia. It's a brow powder, and this one has been used. Oh god, I just got it all over my white pants. Nice. So this one is good. It's caramel colored, and you get a bit of a taupe and a bit of a pretty rich brown. But if you want to do more defined brows, I would, okay, this is actually pretty gross to show you, but I use the Anastasia brow pomade, and this guy is really good. And then my favorite to just kind of carve out the brows is the Anastasia Brow Wiz. I'm sure you guys have seen these everywhere. I go over with an e.l.f. clear brow gel. It's like a couple bucks. It's really nice too. Keeps them in place. You don't have to go out and buy those $30 ones from the name brands. So your brows are an art for sure. I think it's probably the thing that it takes me the longest to do. It takes a while. Moving on to eyeshadow. So if you're a beginner, the best ones that I would suggest is the Kylie Burgundy palette. This one is really, really, really nice. There is plenty of neutral colors for you to play in, but the Huda Desert Dusk palette has definitely got to be my favorite. This was my first palette that I got that had a good amount of colors in it, and I've had a lot of fun with that. So this one I would say is a little bit more advanced than the Kylie palette. It's definitely got a lot of different kinds of colors. There's even a pure glitter in here. So when you're selecting your palettes, the number one thing to look out for is to see if it's a pressed pigment or if it's actually an eyeshadow. Now eyeshadows, it says that you can put it on your eyes. As far as pressed pigments go, it says don't use near the eyes. However, big brands like Jeffree Star Cosmetics also does that. I do have his Blood Sugar palette right here. And what I will say about this palette is it's very nice, but it's extremely hard to blend when you're trying to carve out that crease. So I was going to show you with this brush. This is the M421 by Morphe, and this guy is very good when you're trying to really define that crease. And you can almost make a cut crease without having to use concealer with it. But if you were to take a color from a pressed pigment palette and just kind of draw out that fine line, it will not blend in a pressed pigment. For the Jeffree Star one, I have to use a completely different method of doing my makeup as opposed to the Huda Beauty. So I've selected 6 brushes to start off with, and these are needs if you want to start getting and doing more creative looks. Now the first one, we'll start off with the cheapest, is the e.l.f. Small Precision brush. Now this I would recommend to use as a eyebrow highlight or a brow bone highlight, and then going on the inner corner. This one is really good for getting those nice shimmers, and so you can brighten up your eye. The next one I would recommend is this one, which is the M506. So it's just a little fluffy, and this is a crease brush actually, so this one will be really good for starting off your look. The next one is the Morphe E18. This is a packer brush, so it's a little bit more firm, a little bit more dense, and more rounded on the top, so you can really stamp in that color on your crease, and that's what I like to do when I'm trying to get a lot of pigment, a lot of color. Now the next brush is a necessity, and this one is amazing, amazing, amazing when you're stamping on that color and it's not really perfectly blended out. So you just go into a neutral shade with a brush like this. I'm actually going to show you the Morphe one because this one doesn't have a number on it. So this is the Morphe M505, and this guy is pretty fluffy, and he's just really great. I don't know why I'm giving him a gender, but you can go into a neutral shade and just kind of buff out those edges and make sure you have a seamless look. The next one would be for your lower lash line. Now, I did get this in a Sephora like brush collection, but you just want a thin little brush that is stiff and dense, and that's going to be great for going into your under eye. Now, the next brush is great for when you're using shimmers or anything, and this is the M421 by Morphe. And this one is good, but what the best thing that you can do actually when you're putting on shimmers is use your hand, or not your hand, your finger. Obviously you're gonna get the most precise with your pinky finger, and you can just take that and just kind of smudge it just the slightest bit and you'll get a lot of payoff. But if you're trying to be a little bit more precise, this is the brush for you. Now I'm just going to be using those 6 brushes that I just showed you. So we're just going to dive into the Kylie palette today. This is going to be the only palette we're using because I find it to be the most user-friendly one. It's really, really great. You don't have any fallout in this one. It's awesome. So what I'm going to do is the technique that I showed you earlier is with a packer brush. And what we're going to do is dive into Almond, which is this shade right here, and just tap into that with the stippling brush and then give it a little ding so that you get all the fallout off, and just go ahead and stamp that in. Drink till it's on it. Since most of us know how makeup works, we know that it looks a little crazy when it starts off, but apparently Cardi B didn't know that. If you watch the video of her previous makeup artist saying that, she was like, oh my god, this looks so whack. Yeah girl, it's because it's not done yet. Can't deal with these people. Anyways, the next color that we're going to be using is Beach, which is this little tan one, and we're going to go out and smooth over this harsh line that we have. And then we're going to take the fluffy M505 brush, and then we're just going to, in little strokes, try and diffuse all of that. Yeah, that process was about 5 minutes. Now, since we got a pretty nice burgundy look going, we're going to bring this they're not broken. So next we're gonna use Dubai, which is this nice shimmery brown, copper-ish. I just dip my brush in there. A lot of fallout on that one. But then we just take it and press it into our lid. Now, I don't know how well this is picking up on camera, but this color is so pretty. I don't know why I don't use this palette more. So as you can see, I'm almost creating a cut crease with this because the color is so pigmented. So that's what I've just been doing. You just follow the little crease line and you'll be able to create a basic cut crease. Okay, this might be a little bold for the workplace, but you can always tone it down a little bit, and that's what we're actually going to do next. So I'm just going to go back in with that chestnut almond color. We're going to go back in with that almond color, and actually instead of using the stippling brush, I'm going to go in with the brush that we used for the beach color, the little fluffy one, and we're just going to try and smooth out those edges. The next step will be going back into the stippling brush and going back into almond. I keep wanting to say chestnut. And we're gonna stipple that on the outer corner to kind of give it a little bit more definition and have it blend in nicer. Now, I actually have never had this happen before, but it's changing the color on the outer side, so it's giving it more of an orange gold instead of covering the gold. So it actually looks really nice. It's almost creating an ombre effect, which I am not mad at. Now, because the camera wasn't picking it up very good, I turned my flash on so you guys can see, but look at that beautiful copper. It's got like a gold copper. You can see all the shimmers in it. It's so beautiful. And yeah, I just had to show you what it looks like actually in person. So we've got basically it all done. So all I'm going to do is go into Penny, which is this like, it's not as opaque as I would like it to be, but it's a nice little shimmer. So we're gonna add that on the inner corner. Now, I'll be completely honest, I am not going anywhere tonight, so I am not going to be doing a full face of makeup on camera. So all I'm gonna do is just put a little concealer here. I hate this sweater so much. Oh my, it keeps falling down. Send help. Send help. Like when your clothes just keep falling off, it's literally just as annoying as someone typing on their keyboard obnoxiously loud. That is probably the #1 thing that makes me hate going to class, is hearing people like cool, we get it. You have a Mac Pro laptop. Like, cool. Cool, dude. Everyone has a laptop. You're not special. You're not special. So just to keep on the theme, I'm not going to be doing any crazy colors. I just want to go into this orange, which is Naked. This one right here. And this one, wait, please stop. This one is nice because it's going to kind of tie the whole look together, because we've got a very pretty tame look, at least it's for me pretty tame. So we're just going to use that little buffer under whatever. Use it on your lower lash line. I'm literally going to throw this sweater in the garbage. I can't. You know, we're just taking this off. We're not dealing with that anymore. So we're going to take this and go under the eye. Now that we have that done, we're going to go back into the palette and use Penny again, just to really highlight and blend into the lower lash line so it is seamless. I'm just gonna pop on some mascara and some lashes and I'll be right back. So now everything is done. We are done with the eye look. If you wanted to obviously complete it and put on your foundation and whatever, do that. I'm just not going to. Thank you so much for coming and watching my video. If you liked it or learned something, please give me a thumbs up below and subscribe to my channel. I try to make videos every week, every 2 weeks. I haven't really been super good at that because I have a lot of homework and midterms are coming up, and then I'm going to Vegas next month, so I'll be putting in probably some really crazy glam looks that I'll be doing for that as well. Thanks so much and have a great start to your week, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.